The future of diabetes care is, in a sense, a return to antiquity. The ancient yogis knew what modern medicine is just now starting to recognize, that health is created within. Hi, I'm Evan Soroka. I'm a certified yoga therapist and founder of Yoga Therapy for Diabetes. I've had type 1 diabetes since 1998, and I've dedicated my life and practice with helping other people with all types of diabetes find more balance and flexibility in their lives. For so long, we've treated the disease of diabetes and not the person with diabetes. And if you look at the statistics in the United States today, about 50% of the people with diabetes are unable to achieve the standard of an A1C under 7%. And although an A1C is not the ultimate metric in diabetes success, it is a helpful measurement to help us decide whether or not someone is at a higher risk for developing severe complications or even early mortality. Why is it that despite all the technological advancements and education surrounding diabetes risks, so few people are able to achieve this standard metric of diabetes care? Well, diabetes is unlike any other chronic illness. And don't get me wrong, any chronic illness is challenging. But diabetes is pervasive. It affects every avenue of our life, from our physiology to our psychology, how we feel, respond, think, and behave. Ultimately, education about diabetes risks are not enough to transform behavior. Lifestyle changes happen from within, and we need something stronger than our impulses, stronger than our habits to override these behaviors and replace them with something more positive and beneficial. Right now, we're on the edge of a new frontier in diabetes care, one that's less focused on data and A1C, and more involved with quality of life, happiness, joy, and freedom. Studies are just beginning to corroborate what the ancient yogis have known for a very long time, that the brain is neuroplastic, that it can learn and unlearn new behaviors and ways of thinking, that we can train our autonomic responses, our nervous system, to perceive stress in a different way so that we can become more resilient and adaptive to life changes. Living in harmony with diabetes is like trying to hit a constantly moving target. Inevitably, you're going to miss the mark. And whenever you do, there is a cost. And that cost, it leaves a mark in the body, whether that's the experience of feeling highs and lows, energy deficits, or even the subtle impressions in our minds and our fears about diabetes. And whenever we don't cope or manage these things, what ends up happening is there's an accumulative effect that can lead to chronic stress. It can also lead to other severe complications and even early mortality. If you live with diabetes like me, it's essential that you learn strategies to help you build back your energy and vitality when you do miss the mark, because inevitably we all do. And this helps you bounce back faster. These are strategies that help you cope and increase your self-confidence. And this is what yoga therapy is all about. Diabetes is unique, and ultimately, so are you. And so yoga therapy practice for diabetes, it's not about an instant result. It's not about a magic pill or even a cure for diabetes. It's about living an embodied lifestyle so that you can have more balance and harmony, more clarity and confidence, and that you can adapt and respond to diabetes. There are many ways to practice yoga therapy for diabetes. One is an intervention strategy. And for example, this could be working with hypoglycemia fatigue, helping you bring your energy back up. Or another instance would be to help you stop a blood sugar spike in its tracks, or even help you manage things like diabetes burnout or depression. Another strategy is a preventative medicine. This helps you tend to your overall health and well-being over the duration of your life. This could be helping you to offload negative emotions, seek more clarity around your diabetes management decisions, or even just allow you to stop doing all the doing that you're doing all day long. People come to me with all different types of diabetes and yoga experience levels, but what unifies them is a desire to seek alternative methods to support their existing diabetes management and care. They might come to me with pain or lack of mobility, overweight, sleeplessness, chronic stress, diabetes burnout, and fatigue. They might be dealing with diabetes-related complications like autonomic or peripheral neuropathy. Sometimes they're stuck in that cycle of high blood sugars and low blood sugars, mental fatigue and exhaustion, anxiety and depression. There are so many side effects that go along with diabetes. Sometimes people come to me without diabetes complications. They're in great range. Still, they understand the importance of self-care that extends beyond diet and exercise. And they're looking for clear methods tailored to their unique constitutions to help them support their lifestyle and their diabetes goals. The only constant in life is the inevitability of change. And yoga teaches us that the more attached and identified we are with the changing circumstances and conditions around us, the more that we suffer. And diabetes is no different. It's constantly changing. And what worked yesterday might not work today. And that can get really frustrating at times. So a yoga therapy practice helps us to be more fluid. It helps us evolve and adapt. It helps us to have more mental clarity and understand the relationship of cause and effect. And most importantly, what it helps us do is to trust. It gives us self-efficacy, a feeling like we can do it no matter what challenge is thrown at us, that we have the ability to make ourselves feel better whenever we need. And when it comes down to it, this is really the skill of living in balance with diabetes. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 13. And if you ask my friends and family, it was not graceful. I went through my own growing pains and many challenges along the way, from feeling really emotional and out of control to ultimately grieving a part of my life that I thought was going to be, and it changed. And so there was a process of adaptation, making lots of mistakes along the way. But I was lucky to have found yoga pretty early on after diagnosis. And it was the only thing that helped me let go of this hypervigilance, this need to constantly know where I was at, to feel safe, and all the emotions that were circulating, all the sensations in my body. And it was really the only thing that allowed me to drop into a feeling that I was me, an essential me that was beyond diabetes. Practice taught me that I was more than diabetes. I was more than the highs and lows, and not just on a cognitive level, but on a really visceral, experiential level. That ability to be able to watch what diabetes is doing to your body, to notice the highs and lows, but also to remain separate from it. So one of the translations of yoga is union, but another way of thinking about yoga is separation. And this is what yoga therapy helps us do, is to separate ourselves from what it is that we're observing and help us abide in the part of us that is untouched by disease, untouched by change, the part of us that is our essential nature. I became a teacher in my early 20s, and I still wanted more. I realized I didn't know enough, so I went on to receive some of the highest credentials in yoga, becoming a yoga therapist and studying with some of the best teachers on this planet. And for me, this is about helping people. It's about empowering people with diabetes to heal their relationship with diabetes and with themselves. It's about learning how to use these tools and practices, when and why, and how you can use them to create, in a way, like an art, a palette of your own self-care. And when you understand what you're doing and how you're able to apply it, really the world's your oyster. You can do anything you want to. And that's really the benefit of learning to practice for yourself. I'm the author of Yoga Therapy for Diabetes. It's the first book of its kind to combine the science of diabetes management with the practice of yoga. Besides writing, I offer several group programs throughout the year and one-on-one diabetes mentorship. If you want to start working with me, you can schedule a free 30-minute discovery call on my website. For more resources, you can sign up for my newsletter where you're going to receive exclusive content and tips specifically for diabetes in your inbox weekly. Also connect with me on Instagram and on YouTube.